Hey YouTube, what is happening guys? And thank you for tuning in to Rules for Rebels. It's Tuesday and we are back with episode 82 of Side Hustle Tuesdays, part of our weekly side hustling series where each week we share a different true real life story of someone who started a side hustle or small business outside of their 9-to-5 job with little to no money and with skills and or equipment that they already possessed. Today's story is a fun one and one that I really liked. I like today's story for a couple reasons. First off, it's an idea that piggybacks off another idea. I think oftentimes hearing about successful side hustles can be one of the best brainstorming methods out there. When you hear about a successful business, rather than kicking yourself and thinking, why didn't I think of that? Why not think of a way that you could do something similar and put your own spin on it? And that's exactly what today's side hustler did. Another thing I liked about today's story was how it was inspired by Reddit. Something we talked about recently in a video I made about how to spot trends to make t-shirts about. If you missed that video, I'll link to it in the description box below. And then lastly, another thing I really liked about today's side hustle story is that today's side hustler didn't know graphic design, she didn't know how to make a website, she didn't know where to get postcards printed, but she used Google to figure all this out on her own. I think oftentimes people sell themselves short and think that they can't do something or can't figure something out, and in reality most things you want to do are only a Google search or YouTube search away. Now, getting into today's side hustle story, some of you guys may remember years ago, back in the back of magazines and classifieds in a newspaper, seeing these BS ads about earn money stuffing envelopes or earn money sending postcards. Now, more often than not, these were complete scams, but today's side hustler did figure out a legitimate and creative and profitable way to make $100 per day with only about 10 minutes of work doing exactly that, mailing out postcards. Today's side hustle story is about a California bartender who created a funny novelty business sending postcards to friends, family, and coworkers to embarrass them. Today's side hustler is Kelly MacArthur from Southern California. Kelly is a bartender, a yoga teacher, and a mobile notary. She's always had a lot of different gigs and a lot of different side hustles going on. However, this was her first attempt at doing an online business. Now, the inspiration for today's side hustle was actually something I featured in a video a while back. The video is titled something along the lines of the 5 dumbest ways people are making money online. The business talked about glitter bombs, dicks by mail, Steve, the I want to draw a cat for you guy from Shark Tank, sending potatoes through the mail, and a few other fun, clever novelty ideas that could all probably be started for under $50. If you happen to miss that video, I'll also link to that one down in the description box below. It was a fun one and it's worth checking out. Kelly had noticed the guy doing the glitter bombs. A glitter bomb is basically a prank where you can send it to a friend. When they open up the package, glitter goes everywhere, and it's a bit of a pain to pick up, so it was kind of a funny prank. Well, Kelly thought the business idea behind it was genius. She just couldn't find herself as a consumer ever buying something like that. She did, however, have a light bulb go off in her head with something similar that was funny, a novelty, and a low startup cost business idea. Kelly's idea was sending funny and embarrassing postcards to people by mail. Kelly started out by designing the postcards. Now, Kelly wasn't a graphic designer and her graphic design skills were rudimentary at best, but using Canva, a drag and drop program, she was able to put together a pretty basic yet good looking postcard using templates available on the platform. The postcards came from made up fictional companies and congratulated the recipient in an embarrassing way. I'll link in the description box below to where you can check out our website and see all of these for your own. But just to give a couple examples, one postcard came from a made-up company called bargainbrides.com and congratulates the recipient on their new mail-order bride. Another comes from the My Little Pony Friendship Club and welcomes their newest member. There's some which are a bit more risque, and I'll let you guys check those out on your own, but one particular one I saw that comes up is XXL Mail Enhancement and congratulates the recipient on reaching their gold member status. Now, Kelly had no experience running an online business or doing e-commerce or even building websites. After designing the postcards, she realized that she would need a website to sell them. She didn't know how to build a website, so she Googled how to build a website, and lo and behold, she managed to figure it out. Kelly also didn't know how to get the postcards printed, but after a little bit of research, she found Vistaprint.com and used them. Now, just as a little aside to this story, Vistaprint, while not super expensive, probably isn't the cheapest or most cost-effective method out there. If any of you guys want to offer your own printed goods or want to kind of give it your own try at doing something similar to this, I'll Google below to a site called Custom Prints. That's custom with a K and prints ending with a Z instead of an S. I actually found them on eBay years ago and have been using them for business cards, flyers, and product inserts for years. They're incredibly cheap. The quality of their stuff is really good. Everything's full color, glossy, 2 sides included. And in addition to being cheap and having a good product, they also throw in a free design service with most of their packages, which saves you from having to go get a graphic designer. Anyhow, Kelly had her cards designed, she built a website, she sourced the cards, and now she came to, how am I going to sell these things? Kelly initially struggled to get sales. First she tried Google AdWords, that didn't work. Next she tried getting affiliate marketings to sell for her, and that was a flop as well. She tried reaching out to bloggers, and while her product was cool and fun, it's also kind of a weird product that's tough to market, so she didn't have much success there either. Kelly had heard great things about Facebook ads, but Facebook does not allow the advertising of adult products or political products, so she couldn't get her ads up. Now technically what Kelly's selling is neither political or adult in nature, but simply having those keywords or those images blocked her from advertising there. Kelly's next strategy was one that gave her business a real spark and was seemingly kind of a random guerrilla marketing strategy. She enlisted a friend of hers to post a picture of the postcard on Reddit. Now, I've talked about this before. Reddit can be a huge traffic driver, but Reddit also hates spam and self-promotion, so you need to be really careful and really clever with how you go about doing this. Otherwise, you'll have people downvoting you and cussing at you. I mentioned in a video the other day about finding trends on Reddit, and we talked specifically about the Stoner Cleanup Initiative, where the guy made shirts kind of piggybacking off kind of a trending thing in the subreddit r/trees, and he wound up getting thousands of upvotes and a lot of free traffic to his website. Kelly's friend didn't say anything promotional or link to the site. He simply said, I got this in the mail and found it to be funny. Because it was posted under the guise of, look what I got, this is funny, as opposed to, hey guys, buy this, here's a link to the site. It wound up getting 5,000 upvotes and even wound up spending 5 hours on the front page of Reddit, getting a ton of traffic. Kelly's inbox was dinging off the hook nonstop all afternoon, and when it was all said and done, she made over $4,000 in just a couple hours. She spent the next few days handwriting postcards from sunup to sundown. Now, her post eventually was taken down from Reddit, not for self-promotion, but actually for violating some of Reddit's policies, as someone's personal information, i.e. an address, was visible in a photo. But thanks to the exposure she already got, she got a ton of visitors and a ton of sales. Her website wound up getting picked up by some different blog articles and things like that, and her Google ranking improved as well. To date, Kelly is getting about 10 sales per day at $10 per sale. Postcards can be sent at a slight discount from regular postage, so it's only 35 cents as opposed to the 55 or 57 cents that a full-price stamp costs these days. The postcards can't cost more than about 20 cents max to have printed, so each $10 sale, and that's about $9.45, not factoring in merchant costs, but just factoring the cost of the postcard and shipping. Kelly makes just under $100 a day for only about 10 minutes of work. So that's pretty passive income, right? She's making $10 per sale. She's selling about 10 of these per day, and it only costs her about 10 minutes to do. So about $100 a day for less than 10 minutes of work. Kelly is now thinking about her next hustle or her next passive income project. Now, a couple things I wanted to point out before we cut out today. First off, Reddit doesn't go for spam, so while Reddit can be a huge traffic driver, pay attention to other people's posts and how to use it properly, or you're just wasting your time. One other thing I wanted to share is a gem of wisdom that came from Kelly regarding using other people's side hustles as a brainstorming tool. I think a lot of us who've heard of the glitter bomb idea thought to ourselves, that's so clever and easy and costs next to nothing, I really wish I had thought of that. But rather than thinking, darn, I wish I thought of that, start thinking to yourself, how could I do something similar? Or how could I improve upon that idea? Or how could I put my own spin on it? Now, I'm not expecting you guys to run out and start your own postcard business, but what other low-cost novelty type ideas could you do that are similar to this? I recently heard of someone doing something similar with a little bit of a different spin. Someone who is sending out historical letters once a month, almost as kind of a subscription service. A lot of Civil War letters and things like that are public domain, meaning that anybody can use them. So what if you offered some type of subscription service business to history buffs, where each week or each month you sent them a different Civil War letter written home by a soldier. You could also do kind of something where you kind of burn the edges of the paper and give it kind of a dated look to make it a little bit more exciting than just a piece of notebook paper. There's a million ways you could earn income off funny little clever novelty ideas that would be very cheap and easy to start up, and see if they get any traction. If they do, scale it up. If not, you're out $50. Lastly, remember, everything can be figured out. Kelly knew next to nothing about making websites, graphic design, or building an online business, but she did a bit of Google research and she's now earning about $3,000 a month, and it's only taking her a couple hours of work each month. Well guys, that is today's side hustle story. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were inspired, and until next time, this is Rules for Rebels with Side Hustle Tuesdays, signing out.